I never worry about action, but only about inaction. Ambition, not so much for vulgar ends, but for fame, glints in every mind. Honors should go where death and danger go. Difficulties mastered are opportunities won. Let it not be thought that the age of chivalry belongs to the past. The only guide to a man is his conscience. The only shield to his memory is the rectitude and sincerity of his actions. Youth is for freedom and reform, maturity for judicious compromise, and old age for stability and repose. Courage is rightly esteemed the first of human qualities, because it is the quality which guarantees all others. Our difficulties and dangers will not be removed by closing our eyes to them. The world does not end with the life of any man. It is a crime to despair. We must learn to draw from misfortune the means of future strength. When you have to kill a man, it costs nothing to be polite. The most important thing about education is appetite. I am always ready to learn, although I do not always like being taught. When the eagles are silent, the parrots begin to jabber. Defeat is one thing, disgrace is another. I have no fear of the future. Let us go forward into its mysteries. Let us tear aside the veils which hide it from our eyes, and let us move onward with confidence and courage. In a broad view, large principles, a good heart, high aims, a firm faith, we may find some charts and a compass for our voyage. The glory of light cannot exist without its shadows. Nature will not be admired by proxy. We must beware of needless innovation, especially when guided by logic. We live in a world office. Nothing makes a man more reverent than a library. You must look at facts, because they look at you. What is the use of living, if it be not to strive for noble causes, and to make this muddled world a better place for those who will live in it after we are gone? War is horrible, but slavery is worse. To be really happy and really safe, one ought to have at least 2 or 3 hobbies, and they must all be real. Virtuous motives, trammeled by inertia and timidity, are no match for armed and resolute wickedness. Criticism is easy, achievement is more difficult. It is very much easier and quicker to cut down trees than to grow them. Logic, like science, must be the servant and not the master of man. To try to be safe everywhere is to be strong nowhere. It is better to have an ambitious plan than none at all. Every pleasure has its corresponding drawback, just as every rose its thorn. There would be no purpose in living when there is nothing to do. The first victory we have to win is to avoid a battle. The second, if we cannot avoid it, to win it. In critical and baffling situations, it is always best to recur to first principles and simple action. Large views always triumph over small ideas. Unpunctuality is a vile habit, and all my life I have tried to break myself of it. Perhaps it is better to be responsible and right than to be responsible and wrong. It is no use saying, We are doing our best. You have got to succeed in doing what is necessary. Too often the strong, silent man is silent only because he does not know what to say. The price of greatness is responsibility. Victory will never be found by taking the line of least resistance. It is wonderful how well men can keep secrets they have not been told. Peace is our aim, and strength is the only way of getting it. If the present tries to sit in judgment of the past, it will lose the future. It is sheer laziness not compressing thought into a reasonable space. One must make the best one can of the opportunities of the age. Fortune is rightly malignant to those who break with the traditions and customs of the past. Things do not get better by being let alone. Unless they are adjusted, they explode with shattering detonation. Plant a garden in which you can sit when digging days are done. Strength is granted to us all when we are needed to serve great causes. It is certainly more agreeable to have the power to give than the need to receive. It is a fine thing to be honest, but it is also very important to be right. Things are not always right because they are hard, but if they are right one must not mind if they are also hard.